What's up guys, how you all doing? Adam here and I am back. I know it has been a very long time indeed, but unfortunately real life gets caught up with me and I just have a whole bunch of other stuff to do. But I'm going to try and dedicate a little bit more time to YouTube over the next few months, so hopefully I will see you guys very, very shortly. Now today, this is all about the new iPad Pro. Now, normally we get incremental upgrades with the iPads and it's all kind of a bit boring and dull and everything else, but this time round there's actually been some decent innovation. The 120Hz screen is going to be huge. What that means is that the screen is refreshing 120 times per second, so 120 frames per second if you like. Now that means that you're going to get a much smoother experience. Everything's going to be much quicker, much nicer, and just much more pleasant to look at. So I'm very, very excited about that. Now when you pair that up with the new functionality in iOS 11, which was pretty crap for phones but pretty good for iPad, this is actually turning into quite a decent bit of kit. Now this one here, this is the 12.9 inch. They have brought out the brand new 10.5 inch as well, which I've also got that I'll show you. But first of all, let's just walk through a little unboxing because it has been a long time. So here we go, the iPad Pro. Now, first of all, I opted for the Wi-Fi plus cellular. I always get the Wi-Fi plus cellular. I like to just have the thing turned on, connected to the internet, whether I'm in the house, out of the house, in another country, whatever. I like it to just be online all the time. And in fact, a quick note on that, because people quite often say to me, and this is not a sponsored video by any means, they say, okay, so you've gone with cellular, which provider did you go for? On both of mine, I have gone with EE. And I'm using EE for pretty much everything these days. Been so impressed with the performance of their network and the coverage and also the customer service. And what I like about EE most of all is their direction towards innovation, making everything faster, making everything better. But onto the iPad itself. Sorry guys, I got a little bit distracted there, but so many people asked me that question. So here it is. Normally I cut this open like really carefully, but I'm going to try and rip this off if I can today. Although, wow, these are actually quite difficult to open without a knife if you've ever tried it. Let's get this completely unwrapped. Now, last time round, I didn't use my 12.9 inch a huge amount, so I'm hoping that this time round, I'm maybe going to use it that little bit more. So first of all, there we go. And I always love opening this 12.9 inch iPad because it's just a huge gadget, isn't it? It's just massive. It's just this big kind of, I don't know, it's just a huge device. Obviously in the box we get the lightning cable, we get all the gumph in there along with the white Apple stickers, and we also get the power brick as well, which is a faster power brick than that you get with the iPhone. So yeah, there we go. Now, for those of you that know me well and that have been following me for some time, you'll notice something slightly odd at this point. If you know what it is, write it in the comment now before you continue watching the video. Now, let's open this up. Here we go. And there it is. It's just a huge chunk of electronics. It's still extremely light. It still feels extremely light in the hand. And it's more than kind of comfortable to hold. Ridiculously light really for what it is. And you can see at the top there I've got the cellular version. We've got actually a very slim camera bulge on the 12.9 inch option. It's almost not there at all. It's a fraction of a millimetre. Which is quite cool. And obviously these guys have got the new cameras as well, so these have got the same front and rear facing cameras as the iPhone 7, so they'll now finally do 4K. Remember the Pro thing with not doing 4K on the last iPads, which was pretty rubbish. You got the connector strip there on the side, which is great, Thunderbolt on the bottom, and of course those speakers that are 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, which actually sound pretty goddamn phenomenal, especially on the 12.9 inch option. Now, for those of you that paused the video and wondered what I said by something is weird at this point, you'll notice I've gone with the space grey. for how long have I had gold devices, but I've decided to switch over to the space grey for one reason and one reason only, and that reason is that my MacBook Pro only comes in space grey or silver, so I need them all to match. So I've got to now change everything over to space grey because I want them all to match. Unfortunately, the MacBook Pro doesn't come in gold, although I think it would look a bit ridiculous if it did. The screen on this is also brighter and also less reflective as well. And in fact, you can kind of tell straight away that it's brighter. So yeah, that's the 12.9 inch option. I've also got the 10.5 inch option, which is by far and away going to be the more popular choice. And it's really strange because immediately, if you're a big iPad user like I am, you can see that the screen itself is significantly bigger. I think they gave a figure of 20%. So even though the device itself is pretty much the same size as the previous 9.7 inch, the 10.5 inch one has got much smaller bezels and much more real estate as well. And this one I unpacked earlier and had a look at for the pure reason that I wanted to see the screen. Now there's no way for me to show this to you guys because there isn't 120 frames per second that I can record at, but let me tell you, the snappiness of this and the smoothness of it with that 120 hertz screen is 100% noticeable. And I'll tell you what else is noticeable as well on this one is the screen brightness is phenomenal. Now everything was set up for a good exposure and you can see just how bright that screen is compared to the standard exposure. So yeah, that is phenomenally bright, that screen. I also definitely noticed that there is less reflection as well. No matter where I'm holding it, I cannot see a huge amount of reflection other than kind of bright windows like you might be able to kind of get a glimpse of that. There you go there. So yeah, all in all, they're pretty much the same. One thing I will say though is that on this smaller iPad Pro, the camera bulge on the back just here, don't know if we'll be able to, there you go, is significantly bigger than the one on the 12.9 inch. However, it does still sit flat on a desk and doesn't rock, which is, I guess, the main thing. Although I always hate having that lens face down, but I think it's like a crystal sapphire lens, so you don't have to worry about any scratching or anything like that. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is the brand new iPad Pro. You can see up there in the top, connected to EE. And in fact, while we're here, should we just do something? Oh no, I've not got the app on here, but I was going to do a quick speed test and just see how fast we got on the EE network. I have done it before, and even though I'm in the middle of nowhere and basically in a field, I get about 45 megabits per second, which is pretty phenomenal really, on a 4G connection. And it's the only one that gets a signal in this particular house as well. So there you go, guys, that is it. Let's just hold these up next to each other. We have both of the brand new iPad Pros, the 12.9 and the 10.5, both in space grey, which I've had to adapt to fit with the MacBook Pro. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate your ongoing support, especially those guys that stick with me when I just don't have time to make videos due to other work commitments. I really do appreciate you guys following and having chats with me on Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of jazz, and Instagram. So yeah, thank you very much. That is it from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.